Welcome to Grim Tale Teller, where the shadows conceal crimes that linger in your bones. I'm your host, peeling back the layers of your darkest submissions at grimtaleteller@gmail.com. Tonight, a chilling 2023 confession from Jake, a 30-year-old thief who risked it all to steal a crown replica, sparked by a real 2002 heist attempt on the British crown jewels. But what followed wasn't just the law, it was something unearthly. True crime turned terror. You decide. Got a secret that haunts you? Send it to grimtaleteller@gmail.com. Subscribe, dim the lights, and brace yourself. This is Jake's tale of the night I stole the crown. I'm Jake, 30, a small-time thief scraping by in the gray streets of Chicago. Back in November 2023, I caught wind of a traveling exhibit, replicas of the British crown jewels, loaned from a London museum after that infamous 2002 heist attempt. The real ones stayed safe, but these fakes were insured for $1 million. I saw a score. A rundown museum, sloppy security, late-night shifts. For weeks I watched, mapped exits, bribed a guard for a key copy. November 15th. I went in, dark coat zipped, lockpicks in hand, adrenaline pumping. The plan was clean. Grab the crown, fence it, vanish. But the shadows held more than I bargained for. The museum loomed quiet after midnight, a relic itself, peeling paint, creaking floors, dust thick in the air. I slipped through a side window, boots muffled on the cold marble. The exhibit room was a vault of shadows lit by a single spotlight on the crown. Gold filigree, fake jewels winking like eyes. I'd studied the 2002 tower job. 2 thieves with a duplicate key caught before the real haul. My bribed guard's copy clicked the case open, glass cool against my fingers. I lifted the crown, heavy with history I didn't care about, and stuffed it in my bag. My pulse thundered. Freedom was minutes away. Then came the sound. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, echoing from the far hall. I ducked behind a display, expecting a guard's flashlight. None came. A figure emerged, tall, in a tattered Victorian uniform, buttons tarnished, cap low. His face was pale, eyes unblinking black voids, staring through me. "Put it back," he rasped, voice bouncing off the walls like a recording. My breath caught. Security wasn't due for an hour, and this guy wasn't on the roster. I bolted, bag swinging, glass crunching underfoot. He didn't chase, just tilted his head, watching. The exit door slammed shut as I reached it, lock clicking without a key. Panicked, I rammed it, spilling into the night. But as I drove off, those footsteps tapped on my car roof, steady as a heartbeat. Rain streaked my windshield as I floored it home, those taps on the roof relentless. I pulled over, checked, nothing but wet metal, streetlights glinting off the emptiness. Shaken, I locked my apartment door, crown on the kitchen table, heart still hammering. Morning news blared. Museum break-in, replica crown stolen. No guard mentioned. I figured he was off record, maybe paid to look away. I contacted my fence, a guy named Tony, but he stalled. "That thing's bad news, Jake. Feels off." I brushed it off, planned an online sale. That night, the tapping returned. Not outside, but inside my walls. A slow march circling my bed. I grabbed a flashlight, searched every corner, closet, under the bed, behind the fridge. Empty. But in the bathroom mirror, he was there. Reflection behind me, those black eyes unblinking, uniform dripping with mist. I spun. Nothing. The crown pulsed on the table, a faint hum I swore wasn't there before. I threw it in a trash bin outside, locked the door. Next morning, it was back, pristine, mocking me. Tony called, voice shaky. "I saw him too, Jake." Get rid of it. I didn't sleep, the footsteps pacing closer, his whisper cutting through. "Thief. Return it." Cold, not human. I dug into the 2002 heist. Guards reported a silent watcher, gone when cops came. Was this him bound to the crown? The next week was a descent. The watcher, let's call him that, appeared everywhere. In store windows, my TV screens static, always silent, but for that hollow whisper, "Return it." The crown stayed put, jewels shifting like living things when I turned away. I stopped eating, jumping at every creak, old pipes, my imagination, or him. Tony vanished. A neighbor said he packed up, muttering about eyes in the dark. I researched the 2002 heist deeper. Sealed guard logs mentioned a third figure, tall, unmoving, gone after the arrest. Locals called it a crown guardian, tied to its bloody past, executions, stolen gems from colonies. I tried to end it, smashed the crown with a hammer in my garage, gold denting, but the jewels held, glinting defiantly. I burned it in a trash can, flames licking the metal, but it cooled untouched. The tapping grew, a march inside my skull. One night, I woke to him looming over my bed, eyes black pits, hand outstretched. "Thief," he rasped. I swung the hammer. He dissolved into mist, but the crown reappeared on my nightstand, pristine. I packed a bag, drove back to the museum, crown in tow, determined to undo this. The lot was empty, rain falling, and there he stood by the door, waiting. "Too late," he said, voice echoing in my bones. I dropped the crown, stumbling back, rain soaking me. The watcher didn't move, just stared, those unblinking eyes boring into me. I ran, slipping on wet pavement, heart pounding like a drum. The footsteps followed, tap, 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 closer than ever, sinking with my breaths. I ducked into an alley, hiding behind a dumpster, but his shadow stretched across the bricks, head tilted like a predator. I called a friend, voice breaking. "There's a thing chasing me." He laughed. "Jake, you're tripping." Maybe I was, but the shadow didn't fade. I holed up in a cheap motel, no crown, thinking I'd left it. But the tapping started again. Walls, ceiling, a slow patrol. I checked the 2002 logs online, guard diaries, smuggled out. The watcher stood by the crown, silent since Victoria's time. Steal it, and he claims your soul. One guard quit, died muttering "thief" in his sleep, black eyes in his autopsy photo. I contacted a paranormal forum. Someone replied, Cursed object echo. Bury it, pray, break the bond. I drove to a forest preserve, dug a hole under a gnarled oak, dropped the crown in. As I recited a shaky prayer, the ground trembled, footsteps ceased. I exhaled. Freedom. Until I got home. The crown sat on my couch, and the watcher leaned against the wall, smiling faintly. Forever, he whispered, and my reflection showed his eyes in mine. That moment broke me. The watcher's eyes, black voids, stared back from every mirror, every puddle, growing in my own. The crown became my shadow, moving when I wasn't looking, always within reach. I quit thieving, sold my gear, moved to a new city, St. Louis, thinking distance would help. But he followed. Footsteps echoed in empty rooms, whispers filled my dreams. Thief. Mine. I stopped sleeping, surviving on coffee and fear. Friends drifted, thought I was unhinged. My landlord evicted me after complaints of night noises, but it was him, pacing my walls. I dug deeper into the 2002 heist, court records, guard testimonies. One wrote, "The watcher appeared after a jewel was cursed by an executed thief in 1890, bound to guard it eternally." Another died in 2003, same black eyes, same mutters. I tried a priest, desperate, last resort. He sprinkled holy water, prayed over the crown, but screamed and ran when the watcher materialized, hand on my shoulder. The crown laughed, a low, guttural hum. My hands shook as I touched it. The jewels felt warm, alive. I'm running out of options. I sent this to grimtaleteller@gmail.com, my confession, hoping someone knows a way out. Last night he offered me the crown again. I refused, but my fingers moved. His will, not mine. I'm losing myself to him. Weeks dragged into a haze. The watcher's presence thickened, his footsteps a constant rhythm in my head, his whisper a mantra. Thief. Return. Mine. My eyes darkened daily, black spots spreading like ink. I avoid mirrors, but every reflection betrays me, his face over mine, smirking. I've lost jobs, friends, my old life. I couch surfed, but landlords kick me out, citing odd behavior, talking to walls, clutching the crown. I tried therapy. The shrink prescribed meds, called it delusion. But the meds don't stop the tapping, the hum from the crown when I sleep. I tracked down a 2002 guard's relative, anonymous chat. He confirmed. Granddad saw the watcher, quit after a heart attack. Said it's tied to the crown's blood, stolen from a hanged man's family. He sent a ritual, salt circle, crown buried at midnight under a full moon. I gathered salt, drove to a park, dug under an oak as the moon rose. The crown pulsed in my hands, warm and heavy. I chanted the prayer, salt glowing faintly. The ground shook, watcher's form loomed, taller, angrier. "You can't escape," he hissed. The salt burned out, and the crown was back in my bag. I ran, but his laughter followed, echoing in the trees. He's closer now, inside my thoughts. I'm a shell now, haunted by a crown I can't shed. The watcher's voice narrates my days, guiding my hands, whispering plans I don't want. I catch myself sketching his uniform, muttering his words. My eyes are half his now, black creeping into the whites. I've tried everything. Police laughed, saying it's stolen property, wanted me for the heist. I can't return it. He won't let me near the museum. Friends block me. Family thinks I'm dead. I live in my car, Crown beside me. It's Hum, my only company. I found an old diary online. 2002 guards, hidden in an archive. He wrote, "The Watcher claimed the last thief in 1890. Body found with black eyes, Crown returned. It's a cycle. Steal, possess, repeat." He drew the guard, same unblinking stare. I'm the next link. Last night I woke to him holding the crown, offering it like a gift. My hand reached, but I fought, smashing a window to snap out. Blood dripped, but he smiled, vanishing. The crown stayed, and my reflection, fully his eyes now. I'm writing this from a library, sending it to grimtaleteller@gmail.com. If you find me, I'm gone. The Watcher's footsteps are my heartbeat. Don't touch the crown. He's waiting for you too. And that's Jake's confession. A crown stolen, a guardian unleashed, and a life consumed by shadows. Was the Watcher a spirit, a curse born of blood, or a thief's unraveling mind? The crown still waits, its guardian ever watchful. Thanks to Jake for sharing at grimtaleteller@gmail.com. If this heist horror gripped you, subscribe for more weekly chills. Like if you'd take the crown or flee, and tell us your spookiest theft tale below. November holds more darkness. Stay tuned. Until then, lock your doors and leave the past buried. This has been Grim Tale Teller. Good night, if the Watcher allows.